Well, hey, howdy. Welcome to Camp Dog Workshop Saturday morning. Okay, your package arrived safe and sound, and I started on the project. On that 316 burner assembly, one thing I'm going to have to eliminate from my vocabulary is easy fix. There is no easy fix. I'm going to have to replace it with it should not be overly complicated. Anyway, when it arrived, you know, your manifold and pickup tube were screwed into the broken collar, which had come off of this, and it had the burner tubes in there. Well, this whole unit assembled was just frozen shut. It took me some effort to get everything apart so I could do the fix. In the process, I got some scuffs on the burner tubes, so that I buffed them out, and for the most part it looks pretty good. So what I did was I located the correct position of the collar on the intake bar, and I used silver solder to attach it. Silver solder is an alloy that's got a very high melting point, but not as high as the melting point of brass. I didn't want to braze this because for the most part brazing is brass, and what I'm working with is brass, and you get the brazing rod to the temperature to flow, which isn't very far away from the temperature it takes to melt this. But this holds up to heat really well. That's what I use on all of mine. So anyway, I got that in, soldered it in, or silver soldered it in. Your mixing manifold will screw in. Well, anyway, and I have it set so when it's tight, it's in the right position. It's not cattywampus or anything like that. Now, something we need to talk about. There was some significant corrosion of the brass. I don't know if you can see how the burner caps are pitted, and the threads are kind of pitted and are going away. Same thing on the burner tubes. The end that fits in your mixing chamber is fine, but the ends that were in the brass end pieces are fairly well degraded. I mean, where is it? It's difficult to get a good tight thread. What I'm going to do, I'm going to send along some fresher burner tubes. The thing is, though, these are from 220 style, and they're about a ½ inch longer. They will work fine. This is the size I use on my 316Ts. I use the same size manifold. This is the same generator, and I get a good burn. So I'm just going to throw 2 of these in the package so you can choose to use these tubes instead of the shorter ones that are degraded. Now, what I can do, if you want to stick with the originals and get good serviceable use, I can screw this in as much as I can and just put a drop or 2 of silver solder in there to hold it. Okay, that will make that one solid unit that you never be able to take apart. I can do it that way, or I can use a high temperature epoxy, and once again it would make it a solid unit. Now you can screw it in and it's going to stay in place, but it'll be a little bit loose. Anyway, so that's where we're at on that. This we won. We got this done. If you want, I'll just throw everything in a plating tank and once again get sorry, I need my second cup of coffee. Once again get that faux Tina look, you know, where everything is nickel plated but not really bright. So that's where we're at on that. On your font that has a leak, what I'm doing, I'm going to put methylene chloride in there and let it sit for a day or 2 just to loosen up any of the Caswell that didn't give us a good bond. And then I did I did get that other brand of tank sealer, ran some tests on it, and I'm really pleased with it. I think I told you Caswell's not going to be available again till the end of late October. I don't want to keep you waiting that long, but this other stuff is gas resistant and will do the job just as well. So after the methylene chloride, eats up anything that's loose, I'll flush it and seal that, and then get all this back to you. And I'm also going to send you. You asked for some nuts that were the right size for that type of deal. So I'll send you, pardon me, I'll send you a handful of those. All right. Thanks again. Appreciate working on your stuff. You have a good week. All right. Bye.